How would you describe the state of the Indian economy at the moment?
I'm the terminal optimist, so I'm going to say there was a slowdown, but happily sales are picking up and the consumption is picking up. We have a major festival called Diwali.
Yes.
Think about Christmas. So if you asked me this question 2 weeks ago, I would say, ask me after Diwali, just as you would about Christmas being an indicator. The good news is Diwali sales have been very good. We are up over last year in our sales on the Diwali week in double digits.
Talk to me about what you're doing with the production on the car side, because obviously you're a huge player. Have you had to cut production aggressively over the space of the past 10 months?
We did have more non-working days, as we call them, and we were aggressively cutting any excess inventory. I think most car companies now have, in a sense, sanitized their pipelines, and there's a great deal of hope about the season from now on.
We talk about the global slowdown. The IMF says the world is growing at the slowest pace since 2008. Make that come alive for me in terms of the business decisions that have happened for you this year. How has that slowdown become a reality in your business?
Well, it's almost like the tale of two cities, if you will. Our domestic businesses are fairly insulated from the global economy, except in a positive sense that if the global slowdown causes a drop in commodity prices, most car companies could possibly gain from a reduction in commodity prices. But a lot of our businesses are now global. We own a Korean car company, we own a tractor company in Turkey, we are big players in the US. So we are not completely insulated from a slowdown, but it's almost different. India has its own set of challenges. The global slowdown had affected our international businesses, but again, it's a different story in different markets.
Is it trade angst that's causing it? Do you need to see a trade deal, phase one, whatever, between the United States and China to materially change your thinking?
Okay, so I'm going to say something very controversial.
Please do.
India is actually a beneficiary of any trade tensions around the world. Let me give you a couple of examples. When Penny Pritzker was the Commerce Secretary, I remember her visiting us in India and telling us if India doesn't join the TPP or join any multilateral trade blocs, we're going to get left out. And there was a danger of being left out. Guess what? When America scrapped the TPP, suddenly India's back in play. If we were a small economy, I think a breakdown of multilateral agreements would be a problem. For a large country like India, which is a market everyone wants to get into, we have a tremendous amount of clout in negotiating bilateral deals. So as far as I'm concerned, I hate to admit it, but the more tension there is outside, the more leverage India gets.
If we have a Brexit in the United States, I'm slightly going off piece. I want climate change in here, but just do Brexit for me in a small snapshot. If we Brexit and go to a transition to new trade deals around the world, do you think that that will be a substantial relationship between India and the United Kingdom?
You know the history of India and the United Kingdom.
Inextricably linked.
We are very indulgent and tolerant. We've forgiven our former colonial masters a long time ago. We have a very warm relationship. Think about post-Brexit. If there is a Brexit, what do you think the new UK is going to want to do? It's going to want to reach out to large economies like China and India and engineer direct bilateral deals. Once again, India benefits. Okay,
we need to squeeze in climate change. You've talked about it often. What is the biggest, what scale have you invested as a result of climate change, and where's the biggest opportunity?
You know, I've become almost like a stuck record, if anyone remembers what records were.
I do.
Yeah, good, thank God. But the fact is that I've been saying ad nauseum now that let's stop whining about the threat. Let's stop spouting cliches about our grandchildren and what's going to happen. Business needs to understand this is the biggest business opportunity of the next few decades. I'm not saying that because I'm immune or callous about climate change. I'm trying to say climate change has a better chance of getting cured if business sees it as an investment opportunity.
Where's the biggest opportunity for you? You've got solar, you've got a couple of other businesses.
Electric
what else?
Vehicles, solar, waste to energy, quite apart from what we are doing in our factories. We've turned water positive by buying a micro irrigation company. I mean, it's endless. So I really think if nobody else wants to go into it, fine. We'll go in and look at all the opportunities. You can all come in later.